All right, so I finished building this crosscut sled, and I put a fair amount of time and effort and some money into putting a dust collection setup on this thing. Throughout the build process, I was just having fun and building this. But I started to think to myself, was this dust collection thing worth it? So I figured, well, let's do just a small test here and see how much extra dust it collects to try to get a qualitative feel for if it was worth the extra effort. So we'll do a little, semi-scientific project here. I'm gonna make a bunch of crosscuts with my sled without any type of dust collection or dust containment system on there. And then we'll put the kind of the over the top, just dust containment area with no vacuum assistance, and just see how that does. And then the third time and final, we'll actually hook up the dust collector to the dust collection system on the sled here and see how that does. And so we'll just kind of sweep off all the dust that's in the general vicinity of the blade and try to quantify it in just a visual way. So let's get to it. Let's make some tests. Let's make some cuts here. This is a half inch MDF that we're cutting. Here we go. All right, here's the first one. We'll pile it up on a piece of paper over here. All right, I'm going to put the kind of over the top containment system on, and then we'll do the next one. There we go. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Make 3 kerf cuts just on the edge of the board, and we'll see what happens here. So this is how much kind of escaped out of that dust containment, those rubber flaps on the side there. We'll sort that, put that down here. All right, so the next one, we're going to hook up, well, first we're going to run the dust collector on the table saw just by itself, which I expect to have almost zero impact because it's a zero clearance throat plate and then a zero clearance slot through the sled, so not a whole lot of air is going to get through there, but we'll still do it anyway. Here we go. It looks about the same as the first two. Not much appreciable difference there. Let's see. So this first piece of paper are the first two. Let's hook up the dust collection on the sled here. Attach that. Attach that. Pull that up. All right, there we go. All right, so we'll do it again. And this is with the dust collector running in the table saw base like the last one, but then as well I hooked up this auxiliary one to my dust collection on my sled, which has a whole bunch of holes drilled in the fence here right by the kerf cut. So we'll see how this does. visually from the sled, it's a lot less sawdust. Definitely not, still not zero, but a lot less. So here's all the sawdust that came off that time with both of them running. Alright, so let's go over and check out the results. Alright, so this was my very first, I'll try to get these all in a similar pile here. Alright, so this was my first cut. This was nothing. The containment, the over the center containment system wasn't on there. No dust collector running. There's that one. This was with the over the center containment system on there. No dust collector running. This was actually with the over the center system on there and the base of the saw running, which actually looks like it generated more sawdust somehow, but that could have been maybe some variance on how thick of a cut I was taking. But here's with the dust collector running in the base of the saw, as well as the the suction at the fence, what it was doing. You can see it's a considerable reduction in the amount of dust that's, I guess, been able to sneak free of the sled itself and the area around the cut. So I think it was well worth the time and effort to put something on there to collect that amount of dust that's not in the air or on the ground or in my lungs. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that little experiment there on the effectiveness of the dust collection in the sled itself. Overall, I think the results speak for themselves. It was very effective, actually more so than I thought. I didn't know having it at the very back of the fence here was going to be that effective. I thought maybe I'd have to have something like almost like a hood that slid with this as the sled slid. The dust collection hood would kind of stay above the blade to capture most of the dust. But it seems like with the saw blade spinning and kind of generating a draft from the blade spinning, plus containing it on the side like this, most of it has been able to be caught with the dust collection here. I think I could make some improvements if I had these rubber flaps going all the way to the sled itself. There's like maybe an eighth inch gap down below there that I left. So maybe that could be a little bit better, but overall, very happy with this. So I'm excited to start using this thing on real projects here. Hopefully I got some cabinet projects coming up soon. I can use this to cut that material quickly and repeatedly. Repeatedly? That's the right word. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.